Hello everyone, today I'm going to talk to you about studying. We all know that good study habits don't come naturally and we need to teach our students how to study. Learning to study is a skill that will benefit them during the entire span of their education, and good old-fashioned flashcards is one of the best tools out there. So I'm going to show you a modernized digital version of creating flashcards called StudyBlue. It's a great tool for all levels of education to develop good study skills in preparation for quizzes and tests. StudyBlue can be accessed on a computer through the internet like we're doing today, but you can also access it through apps available on both Apple and Android devices. This allows for our students to have access to create and review study materials from school, home, park, in the car, wherever they go. Another great feature is that students don't have to do it alone. This tool allows for the collaboration between teachers and students in the creation of flashcards. It also allows for teachers to monitor student progress and students to set study reminders and track their own progress too. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is going to go to StudyBlue.com. In StudyBlue.com, there's an Educators tab if you want to check it out. Here what you're going to do is you're going to find a list of teacher ambassadors that were willing to share their profiles and their decks. So if you see someone that teaches the same thing as you have access to see what they're doing. And there's also a really short video here kind of showing a teacher and her experience of what she saw and how StudyBlue affected her classroom. So you can kind of do that on your own time. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get started today for free. And you're going to sign up. You can use Facebook, Google, or an email account. I went ahead and used Facebook for convenience. So you can see it already has Maria's backpack. Okay, so you'll sign up, and then the first thing you do is once you get signed up is you can set up for your school to be attached. I've already done that, so I'm just going to just show you. It would have a pop-up button that looks like this. You type in your school name, and you would have a drop down. If you don't see your school there, then I'm going to show you an example. Okay. And if you type it in and your school does not happen to be there, then you would click this don't see your school, and it would go ahead and add your school, and then it would send off to get your school approved, and then within 2 days everything should be good. But that in itself is not going to keep you from getting any of the features. So alright, so let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to start by hitting our make cards button, and you're going to get a blank card that looks like this. So it's super easy, just like doing regular flashcards. So you're going to type in your term on the top. So I'm going to type in decomposition, and then I'll type in the definition I want my students to know. And that's it. So I can either add card, or if I just move down right here, there's a little green button, I can click that, and then it's saved, and I get a new blank card to start again. Okay, so this is super easy. Another option, and you may have seen this pop up, is when I type in my term. Let's say I want to do carbon cycle. When I click down to definition, you actually have a list of flashcards that have been created by other educators. So I've got 133,000 cards with the same term. Sorry, I hope I spell it right. Okay. So let's say I just want to say cycle of carbon. I just want to keep it simple. So I'm going to just click this one. Okay, so whatever one matches your student's needs best, you can click it, and then it's done. So that's super easy. The other option is going to be, and I'm going to have to make a new set here. So is to hit this import button. So if you have to do this obviously at the beginning or when it's blank. So I'm going to hit import. And if you have your terms already set on an Excel sheet, so your terms in one column and the definitions in the other, you can just upload it here, and then it automatically makes those flashcards for you. So if you've got that, makes it real quick and easy, and you're done. So I'm going to go back to my draft that we were working on here. Okay, so those are your kind of 3 options as far as getting content into your flashcards. Alright, so let's look at some other things you can do to kind of change up your flashcards. You have the option of adding images and audio here. These are these 2 options. So let's say I want to add a picture. I can either add media that's directly on my computer, or if I want to just find a picture from the internet, I can copy a link, enter it, and then I get a picture to kind of support the term I'm looking for. So that's a really great tool. The only thing is that the image or audio does need to be under 10 megabytes. Okay, so some other cool features is if you look at this little function button here, I'm going to just make a new blank card. This is a great tool, for example, if you're like a math teacher and you're using special signs and equations, then you have that option. So if you click that, you have all of these options that pop up. So if I want to do the sum of something, or if I'm doing logs, okay, square roots, all those happen. And then up here, is where you would just type in your information. So if you want to change it, okay, so it would, I was putting the wrong one, but you get the point. And then of course you have, if I'm like, oh, this is what I'm trying to do, and I can click that. Oops. We got a little bit overloaded here. Okay, so you get the idea of kind of how that's going to work. All right, how technology works perfectly all the time. Okay, we will move on, but you do have those special options of what you can do there. So real quick, let's go back to this decomposition, and I do just kind of want to show you that you can, make your text bold. If I want to make it italicized, underline, change the color of my text, I have those options also, if that's something that you're wanting to do. Let's say I'm wanting to make a bulleted list, or if I want to make a numbered list, then I can do that, 1, 2, whatever. The other options are you can change your indentations of your paragraphs for your words. So there's quite a few options when it comes to that. The next things here are super and subscript. So let's say I wanted to write the chemical equation for carbon dioxide. Instead of just writing CO with the big 2, I would hit the little subscript 2, and then they have a correct written of what that term should look like. So you do the same thing for superscripts. Your last tool here is this little U. If you click on that, then what you can see is you have all these special characters that pop up. You've got currency, more math symbols, accent marks for like foreign languages, arrow shapes, music notes, symbols. So these make some great tools for all content areas. So let's say that I'm done with my flashcard. So I'm going to come up here, I'm actually going to give it a name. So let's just say I want to give it carbon cycle is the name of the stack. My location is biology. If you make a file, so if you teach more than one subject, it may be biology and chemistry or algebra and geometry, you can make files so you can separate your cards into the different files versus everything being in one big pool, and kind of keeps a little bit more organized and less confusing. Okay, save it, and then that's done. Okay, so let's go over here. You see where it says backpack. Okay, your backpack is your StudyBlue homepage. This is where all your flashcards are located. And so this is kind of, an important thing, because this is where your students are going to go to connect with you and see your flashcards that you've created for their study purposes. So let's get over here. I think their server's running a little bit slow. See if I can get out of this. All right. Let's just open it here. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. Okay, so here is my biochemistry, my carbon cycles. This is kind of where my students have access. So what I want to do is I want to come to the right here and hit invite. And I can email my students if I have access to their email. I can just give them a link or copy paste this to a web page that they have access to. And the other option is to give them the study code or the class code, which I think is the easiest option. If they download the app, when they go in, they put in their name, they add their school, and it says, what is your class? They just input the class code and the teacher's name, and then they have access to your backpack. That's probably the simple and easiest way for them to have access to these study tools. All right, so let me really quickly just show you how easy it is for your students to study. So I'm going to show you this little demo set of 5 cards that I made. So when you first open it, you get, all your cards. You'd have 20, 30, however many cards from that deck. What they're going to do is they're going to click on this little button with the flip cards, take quiz and review sheet on the side. So if I want to flip cards, whatever's green is what I'm doing. I can select how many cards, what order I want them, and which side. Study now, and they just go through and they quiz themselves. They give them a thumbs up or a thumbs down if they do or don't get the word all the way through. And then once they're done with the set, it gives them their results. How they did, if they could study again, how many they got wrong, just study the wrong answers. The cool thing too is they can set themselves reminder alerts for restudying. So let's say they want to study once a day. How do you want to get the message to remind you to study? They can repeat, so it happens every day, not just a one-time set reminder. So that's a really awesome tool. They also have the option of taking quizzes. Again, how many, what order, and what format. So fill in the blanks, true, false, multiple choice. Study now. We'll go through, answer the questions. I'm just going to kind of randomly click them. And it goes through and shows them the right or wrong answers. Okay, so they can see how they did. I'm done, and again, they get the results. Okay, and then the last option is the review sheet, and click how they want it set up, study now, and then basically it just kind of puts the flashcards on the study sheet if they want to look at it all at once. So it's a really neat option. So again, keep in mind for your students, they will have this on all their mobile devices, so they can easily use any of these tools anywhere they are. Or you may have iPads in your room. You can make a class activity and make it as a review day, the day before the test. So it's that easy. So now it's your turn. I want you to get started by creating 5 content-related flashcards, include an image of them on attach an image to 2 of your flashcards, and then when you're through, submit your assignment by including the web link to your StudyBlue cards in the Add Comments box. Okay? Good luck, and I really hope this becomes a great tool for you to use in your classrooms.